Alright folks, welcome to another episode of IT Tales. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button now so you don't miss out on the drama, humor, and heartfelt moments we dish out weekly. Today's story is one for the books, a tale where an ordinary tech fix turned into something extraordinary. Imagine this. It's early morning, the kind of day when the sun peeks through your blinds just as your alarm clock starts blaring. You're still half asleep, and then suddenly, it happens. An executive thrusts a laptop at you with more force than a storm surge, yelling about how his work machine had locked up yet again. Now, in our company, there's a ticketing system for these kinds of issues. But when an exec wants something done, rules are often bent to accommodate RHI. Each the rule has no impact policy. So here I am, waking up with this tech emergency. I took the laptop and began my routine diagnosis. After some easy fix, replaced the memory module and handed it back to the exec. But nope, he wasn't having any of that. He refused to take the laptop until he knew every single issue was resolved. Internally, I wanted to punch him in the face, but instead, I asked him calmly what else was wrong with his machine. With a notepad in hand, I listened as he rattled off a laundry list of complaints. It's funny how sometimes these lists can be so simple to fix, like just running CCleaner and cleaning out all those programs that were installed once, but never used again. After clearing the junk data and addressing each issue on his list, there was one last thing I noticed. A hidden folder taking up 12 GB of space from 2014. Now, our policy is to delete personal files immediately when we find them, but let's be honest, we're not that kind of IT department. Plus, this guy was an executive. I couldn't just delete his stuff. I logged in with my credentials and enabled viewing hidden or protected files. There it was, a folder filled with pictures from 2014. It looked like a temporary folder created by one of the old programs I had removed earlier. The photos were mostly from their son's childhood pictures that, for all intents and purposes, should have been gone forever after a house fire a few years back. I showed him what I found and told him about the pictures. "It's up to you," I said. He thanked me again and went back to work. But then something unexpected happened. About an hour later, as I was working away at my desk, the executive walked in with his wife. She looked like she had been crying, and he seemed incredibly happy. Now, usually when a boss comes over, you stand up out of respect. It's just how I was raised. But this time, I wasn't prepared for what followed. The lady came forward and thanked me profusely for finding the pictures. Her husband reached out to shake my hand, but then he did something completely unexpected. He pulled me into a hug right there in front of everyone in IT. I awkwardly hugged him back, and when he let go, his face was flushed with embarrassment. I couldn't believe what had just happened. My eyes were wide open, completely flabbergasted by this totally out-of-character moment from someone who usually keeps things professional and distant. His wife then explained to me that the pictures I had recovered were thought to be lost forever after a tragic house fire years ago. In 2012, their 4-year-old son had passed away due to leukemia, and these photos were taken right before his diagnosis at age 3. Those were the memories they believed were gone for good. As she spoke, her tears welled up in her eyes again. I felt my own throat tighten as I realized the impact of what I had done that morning. A simple tech fix turned into something far more meaningful and emotional than either of us ever expected. Everyone in IT was staring at their screens with puffy eyes, trying to process this heart-wrenching moment. My boss even came out of his office to thank me personally before forwarding an email chain to me from the CEO. The CEO's message retold our story while praising my efforts and calling it an example of everyday excellence. The flood of messages and praise kept pouring in all day long, making it hard for me to focus on work. My boss told me to take my lunch early since I was being inundated with congratulations from everyone across the company. Can you imagine how surreal this whole experience felt? A regular tech fix turned into a moment that brought people together in ways we never expected. It's moments like these that remind us why we do what we do, because sometimes fixing a machine can mean so much more than just getting someone back to work. So there you have it, folks. The day I didn't expect to be so meaningful and impactful. If this story has touched your heart or made you think differently about the impact of our everyday actions, hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget, subscribe for more IT Tales, where we turn ordinary days into extraordinary stories. Thanks for joining me today, and stay tuned for next week's episode.